Hi, today is my third presentation of an Enterprise Data Management Assignment 3.3, and we will be talking a little bit about ETL modeling processing, dimensional models, profiling tools, business requirements, data governance, metadata, and a lot more. Let's start talking with ETL modeling processing. What is ETL model? What is ETL modeling process? It is extracting, transformation, and loading. And it is the process in data warehousing to extract data, transform it, load it, and finally present the information. It is a very important component in the SAT data warehouse technologies. What is extraction? It is the first step of ETL modeling process. This is the place where the data from different sources, like Excel file, XMS file, text file, or others, are accumulated. Then the second step is transformation. In a transformation, this is a section where all collected data is transformed into the same format. Example, data format, data merge format, splitting format, and ads. And the final step is loading. It is a big chunk of data which was collected, extracted from different sources and transformed finally to the warehouse. After warehouse, we have to do the analysis, and finally we got an information whatever is needed from a business needs. Now let's move to the dimensional modeling. Provide a draft design concept of your proposed dimensional modeling. Dimensional model is a database structure. It comprised of a fact and dimensional tables. It is designed for summarizing, analyzing, and reading numeric information, but relational models are optimized for adding and maintaining data. Relational models are optimized for updating and deletion of data. Dimensional and relational models has unique way of data storage with specific advantages. There are 4 steps to create a dimensional model. There are: select the business process, declare the grain, identify the dimension, and identify the fact. Let's talk a little bit about all these 4 steps. The step number 1. This is very important step in data modeling process. We should identify the business process which is necessary for the business needs. This could be sales, marketing, HR, any kind of information which is needed for the business process. The second one is declare the grain. This is the step that describes level of detailed business problem solutions. It identifies the lowest level of information for any table. If table contains total sales for months, then we have shown is at a monthly granularity. If you have like a weeks, then you have weekly granularity. And that's up to the business need or business process. The third one is identify the dimension. Identify the dimension answers the question who, what, where, when, and so on. This dimension is where all the data should be stored. In other words, this is a collection or gathered data information. The fourth one is identify the facts. In this process, you have touch with business users of the system. Here you get access to the stored data in the warehouse. The fact table rows are numerical values such as cost per unit, price, and its. Usually, the fact tables are surrounded with dimensional tables, and they are related to each other by primary key or foreign key. Now let's move to the business requirements. How do we gather business requirements? We know that in any organization, each department has different requirements and needs. In order to gather business requirements, address current and future needs of the organization, we have to get answer for these 4 simple questions. Question number 1. First of all, we have to realize what does business need? And in order to identify the above mentioned question, we have to realize the past, present, and the future of the organization needs. Question number 2. What is your current data assessment? You have to research the data assets at your environment. It will help us to identify data needs, and through this process we can find out data-driven requirements. Question number 3. How to plan for successfully future of the organization? Technology capability planning gives us ability to architects and other visionaries to depict the future of retrospectively gather all the steps. What you have planned for BI solution that drives you there. Question number 4. How to make your end users engage more with the BI. Profiling users into user groups help to visualize their consumption and usage patterns. At the end, it procures a signal BI solution is selected to suit needs in different groups of customers. Let's talk now a little bit about the modeling tool. What is data model? It is abstract model that organizes and documents the enterprise data. Data model is used as a plan for developing software. Data model also supports analysis, design, documentation, and migration of underlying database structures. Mostly, it represents in diagram. There are about 50 database modeling tools in the market. I did some research and would like to mention data modeling tool product such as Oracle SQL Developer Data Modeler by Oracle. It is a #1 provider of a business software. Nowadays, Oracle has more than 400,000 customers in 175 countries for business opportunities and success. Its product, Oracle SQL Developer Data Modeler, is a free graphical tool that amplifies productivity and simplifies data modeling tasks. The users of this tool are able to browse, create, and edit relational, logical, multidimensional, and data type models. It could be used in traditional and in cloud environments. For example, the figure 3.3.3, as you see on the left side of the page, I have an example of a working table. It tells you how it looks, how it's organized, and else. Now let's talk about the data profiling tool. In order to identify data profiling tool, first we have to acknowledge what is the data profiling. The main aspect of a data value depends on its profile. Unfortunately, only 3% of the data meets quality standards. Data profile helps you to organize and analyze your data for yield maximum value to have advantages at marketplace. Well implemented data profile yields a high level overview, and therefore organizations have less data quality issues at risk. In other words, data profiling sifts through the data in order to determine its legitimacy and quality. Also, it could eliminate costly errors that are common in customer databases. Provided benefits from the data profiling are better data and quality and credibility, predictive decision making, proactive crisis management, organized sorting. There are three distinct components of data profiling. Structured discovery, which helps you to identify whether your data is correctly organized and formatted. Due to the basic statistic, it provides information about validity of data. Content discovery usually it concentrates on the data quality. For example, if a street address is not provided correctly, delivery will be misplaced. The third one is relationship discovery, which helps us to find connection between the data sets. Also, due to my research, I'm standing to choose Oracle Intelligent Data Quality, a product by Informatica. It is integrated data quality system that lets business analysis cleanse, certify, and examine data on drawbacks. Now we will be talking about the database storage, database administration, data virtualization, data meta, and data governance. Database. In order to understand about the evolution of DBMS, it is suggested to look over the history of it. Few decades ago, the data was managed through the paper files, and then it has been placed by DASD or disks. Since then, it was developing and present in various ways. In 1980, technology was evolved to a common industry model based on RDBMS. It was used in the banks, retail, in government, and other industries. In 1990, data warehousing came into the scene, and strategists and architects were faced with the problem. They didn't know where to store all the filtered data. In the late 2000s, data volume required to be managed by warehouses were beginning to put strain of RDBMS platform. Then we have launched big data. Database administration. It allows companies to create new or update existing database based on their internal data collection needs. This position gives you a chance to be more creative and manage all the problems in the database development. Data stored around the enterprise needs backup, recovery, monitoring for security issues, and to pass all the traditional administration and maintenance functions. Data virtualization. It delivers a simplified, unified, and integrated view of trusted business data. Data virtualization integrates data from a different source locations and formats without replacing a data to create a single virtual data layer that delivers unified data service in order to support multiple application and users. In order to build virtual data service, you need to follow 3 simple steps. Connect and virtualize any source, combine and integrate into business data views, and publish and secure data services. Since data is usually transferred in different formats, methods, and aspects, data virtualization is very important. Now let's talk a little bit about the metadata. What is it? It's just simply data about the data. It describes where the data is formed, how it transforms, and where it has finally placed. It is very important that data definitions are clear and accessible to all data warehouses users. What about data governance? What is it? Data governance is management of usability, integrity, security, and availability of the data used in enterprise. It defines a set of procedures and plan to execute those procedures. It is an important part of mergers and acquisitions, business process management, legacy modernizations, financial and regulatory compliance, credit risk management, analytics, business intelligence applications, data warehouses, and data lakes. Data governance framework is sometimes establishing from top-down approach with an executive mandate that starts to put all the pieces into place. It is a part of existing business projects. So my presentation has been ended. As usual, at the last slide, I always provide the references based on what I have presented today's presentation. Thank you very much.